As a kid, my parents would always talk about pride in a good way, like taking pride in who you are, your accomplishments, your goals, and your family. Coming up, I didn't know pride in a negative sense, nor how dangerous it could be. But as I became a young man, I soon discovered pride in a new form. See, on January 28th, 1997, two guys whom I trusted to install speakers a few days prior broke into my car, stole those same speakers and my radio. I felt violated and disrespected, to say the least. My first response, my first thought, was these dudes have the audacity to break into my car? They must have lost their mind. I didn't know then that pride plus ego would equal disaster. When my friend and I confronted them, one of them pointed a gun at me. And in a blink of an eye, my friend had shot them both. Everything happened so fast. I panicked and ran, not realizing what had just happened. One man was in critical condition, but eventually recovered. The other was released from the hospital the same night. Police couldn't find the other suspect. However, me not turning my friend in had nothing to do with the ignorance of street code, but was rather due to the fact that he thought he was saving my life. I was found guilty of shooting both individuals, even though I didn't pull the trigger. For years, I told myself that I was innocent and that the justice system had convicted me for something that I didn't do. But one night, as I began to pray, it was at that very moment that I realized that my intent made me guilty. Had it not been for my pride, this whole situation could have been avoided. See, I left out the house armed, angry, and determined to get back what was mine. So you see, I was everything but innocent. Taking the law into your own hands comes with serious consequences. I could have just called the police. But as a result, my actions led to my wife being husbandless, my children being fatherless. The impact that my incarceration has had on my family, mere words could never explain. But eventually, I stopped wallowing in my delusional sense of innocence and began to refocus on being a father and the best possible version of myself. One of the most hurtful times throughout my incarceration was when my family was on their way home from visiting me, and my son called out to my mother saying, "Grandma, I changed my mind. I don't want to be like my dad anymore." She asked, "Why not?" He responded, "Because I don't want to go to jail." Hearing those words hurt me more than prison ever could. So I decided to become that man again, the man that my son had wanted to be. I've realized that being a father isn't contingent upon your location. The judge may have given me time, but what I do with it was up to me. So I began a new journey into fatherhood. Using my incarceration as my college, I purchased numerous books, utilized the library and different resources to educate myself in various subjects. When my children became adults, they had reminisced about how their dad studied in prison in order to call and help them with their homework. As they grew into adulthood, I used the knowledge I gained while incarcerated to help advise them in financial decisions. Playing a part in my children's path to entrepreneurship gave me a great sense of pride in a positive way. While incarcerated, I've served as an elder mentor for reentry, a program aide for substance abuse, a GED tutor, and currently an HVAC instructor. Every day, I strive to be better and to direct my time towards accomplishing things of substance and value. My children has been the driving force behind my success and my desires to help make a difference in the lives of others. Their love gives me the strength to overcome my trials and tribulations of my incarceration. You see, pride may have taken me away from my children, but my pride as a father is what's going to get me back to them. Misguided pride leads to bad choices, regret, and sorrow. However, pride doesn't have to be a bad thing. It just needs to be focused in the right direction. I'm praying that one day that we can all use pride to become the best versions of ourselves, not the worst. And in return, it will keep us in the comfort of our loved ones and not in the confinement of a prison. Thank you.